I compared solar versus wind for 30 days. The winner surprised me. One of these systems generated power almost every day. The other promised energy independence but repeatedly disappointed when conditions changed. For 30 days, I compared solar panels and a wind turbine to find out which one actually makes more sense for the average homeowner. The results were surprising, because the winner wasn't the technology most people expect. And if you're thinking about spending thousands of dollars on renewable energy, what happened during this test could save you a very expensive mistake. Solar panels are everywhere. Governments promote them, companies advertise them, and most people assume solar is automatically the best renewable energy solution. But wind power supporters claim something different. They argue that solar stops working every night, while wind can generate electricity 24 hours a day. So, who is right? To find out, I compared both systems using 4 categories: power generation, reliability, maintenance, and overall value for money. Round 1. Power generation. On bright sunny days, solar performed exactly as expected. Production started shortly after sunrise and peaked around midday. The numbers were consistent and predictable. But then the weather changed. Cloud cover reduced output significantly. Some days produced only a fraction of the expected energy. Meanwhile, the wind turbine had a completely different pattern. Some days it barely moved. But during windy periods, power generation surged far beyond expectations. And unlike solar, it continued producing electricity long after sunset. At the end of the first week, neither system had a clear advantage. Each had strengths, and each had major weaknesses. Round 2. Reliability. This is where things became interesting. Solar is incredibly simple. No moving parts, very little maintenance, and performance is easy to predict. The wind turbine was different. It depended entirely on local wind conditions. When the wind was strong, it felt unstoppable. But when the air became calm, production dropped dramatically. Some days generated almost nothing. The biggest lesson: neither technology is truly reliable by itself. Both depend heavily on weather, just in different ways. Round 3. Cost. Many people assume wind turbines are cheaper. That isn't always true. The turbine itself is only part of the expense. You also need mounting systems, wiring, maintenance, and sometimes permits. Solar panels require a larger upfront investment, but long-term maintenance is usually lower. For most homeowners, solar remains the simpler option. However, if you live in an area with strong wind throughout the year, the equation changes dramatically. The big surprise. After 30 days, one thing became clear. Solar didn't win. Wind didn't win. The real winner was combining both. When clouds reduced solar production, the wind turbine often continued generating electricity. When the wind disappeared, solar carried the system during daylight hours. Together, they compensated for each other's weaknesses, and the combined setup delivered far more reliable energy than either technology alone. The conclusion: if you live in a typical suburban area, solar is probably the safer investment. If your location experiences strong and consistent wind, a turbine may be worth considering. But if your goal is true energy independence, relying on only one technology might be a mistake, because after 30 days of testing, the biggest surprise wasn't which system produced the most power. It was discovering that the best solution wasn't choosing between solar and wind. It was using both together. Which would you choose? Solar, wind, or a hybrid system? Let me know in the comments.